Hey, good morning. This is the Big JB. I am in my building's lobby. I try to keep the camera a bit away from my face. I am re-recording this. This is a retake. Take two. Your motivation is a man who is interrupted by garbage cans clanging. Not just garbage cans. I don't know who it was, but they were turning over dumpsters, the big metal dumpsters, and it was loud as all get out. So I decided to re-record so I could say something. I was thinking this morning, and I thought I didn't have a topic, but as I got into the lobby here, I thought about one of the kind of the recurring thoughts that I've had, and that is, know your audience. It's important as a comedian, obviously. We had a comedian come to our church not that long ago. Comedian. Sorry. Anybody who is watching this from my church and is offended by that, deal with it. He was not particularly funny. He had some good material, but overall, I just did not find him that funny at all. He made statements around different age groups. In particular, he made jokes about the elderly, and we had elderly people in the audience. And if I was an old person, I would have been really offended by what he said. So I don't know. I think that my comment is, you got to know your audience. You got to know the people that are there. You got to know the comedy that's going to go down for everybody, unless you know the crowd that you're playing to. And that's true too on Facebook. My brother made a post yesterday, and it was regarding the whole gay marriage discussion that's been going on with the Supreme Court. I talked to my wife about it because she had some friends that were, excuse me, pause a moment. Okay, not so much take three as it is just an addition to what I was talking about before. Somebody came in, and I'm standing right by the elevator, or in my previous segment, which is kind of awkward to have somebody walk in while you're doing your recording. I suppose I could have just gone with the flow, but hey. So I was saying, my brother made a post about the gay marriage thing. Apparently somebody had said some offensive stuff on his Facebook page. Fine, people expressing their opinions. It got out of hand. Regardless, I brought it up, told my wife about it. Similar things happened in one of her Facebook groups. And somebody had replied on a thread, and it was very ignorant. It was very, very dim, just in terms of their awareness of their audience, the people who were going to be reading this. And it was tactless in terms of when they posted it and where they posted it. I'm not sure she meant to do that, and that's kind of the point, is you got to be aware of your audience, who you're talking to. If I'm writing an email to one of my buddies, it's going to be very different to an email that I write to my office mates or my boss, right? Or a corporate email that's going to several people. You got to know your audience. You have to tailor what you're saying to that audience. Easier to say. I learned over time. I used to include a lot of background information in the stuff that I'd send, and it would be a pretty lengthy email. The reality is that, especially in the corporate world, if you can't say it, don't say in a paragraph what you can say in a sentence. People are busy. You got to get it to them and give them the relevant or the salient points, as some people like to say. So that's knowing your audience. Being a comedian and knowing that your audience is mostly old people, or even a fair number of people who are middle-aged or older. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what your material is and tailor it to your audience. So I guess that's just kind of on my mind a lot today, is know your audience. Even if you're just talking to friends or family, know your audience. If you're going to say something that's going to be offensive, know your audience. Tailor it in a way that is going to be less offensive. Sometimes it's not possible, but we could still try. So those are my thoughts today. This has been the Big JB. Follow me on Twitter at Voice of the Big JB. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye.